And I just thought to myself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it today.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my...
Hey everyone, it's me. Happy Monday. Today I'm just going to have a quick little video. I wanted to tell you something that I did, and I mentally took you all with me. I wish you could have all been there, believe me. You know, I've been wanting to get my ears pierced again. I have always had just the one piercing on both ears since it was this summer before 3rd grade. It was my birthday. My grandmother and my mom took me to a jewelry store. That was back in the day when like everybody knew everybody, you know, the owners and stuff. I remember they knew the owner of the shoe store, they knew the owner of the jewelry store. And so we went in there, and I remember I picked out the birthstones, the sapphire birthstone and it had the gold around it, and you had to wear them and all that kind of stuff. I have never had any piercings since then. Of course, they're so popular now. Everybody has so many piercings. I've never once thought about getting my nose, my tongue, my lip, my belly button, anything like that pierced. That just doesn't appeal to me. I did want to get a second piercing, but with COVID going on and everything, I just kept putting it off and putting it off. Luckily, I had some of you, like my friend Leah, told me that if I was going to get my ears pierced, to go to either a tattoo shop or, you know, a professional piercing place, not to use the gun. I've heard that it kind of shatters, you know, the cartilage if you get it done in the cartilage, and I heard from a person that used to work there that it wasn't as clean. So I didn't want to go to Claire, so I kept putting it off, and I thought, well, maybe I'll even talk myself out of it. But you guys know some of my favorite girls to watch are my high fashion girls in the fro, Lydia Millen and Tamara Kalinick, and they all have their ears just done so beautifully that Saturday I was watching Tamara, and I just thought to myself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it today. So I set out and I did it. And I went for it. Not only did I get just my second piercing, I got is it a Daith? D-A-I-T-H. And I got that little goodie in there. And then of course I got this ear pierced too. They would only let me get 3 piercings at one time. You guys know me, when I decide to do something, I go for it. And I wanted probably, I don't know, I probably would have done maybe, I don't know what I would have done, because they told me right from the beginning that I could only get 3. I did not go in really with this in mind, even though Tamara does have that. I'm not sure about the other 2 girls. I had called Brooke on the way, and she said to get and I cannot remember what it's called, tragus. She said to get that done. Well, in my mind, that was worse because I feel like it's so thick. So when I walked in there, I felt like they saw me coming, because let's just say I didn't fit in, but there were a few more girls in there that I talked to that weren't like totally tattooed or whatever. But let's just say everyone else in there had more than their one ear pierced. I just lucked up and got with a little girl that is Brooke's age, and she actually used to work with Brooke at Ulta, and so we kind of knew each other, and she was extremely sweet. And so she suggested this. This is like fine jewelry. It's real gold, because if I got something done like this, I wanted it to be able to be left in there for a long time, and I wanted it to be nice. She had suggested that I get these little gold, they weren't even like a ball, they were almost like the head of a nail. She wanted me to get those in here, but I really did not want to spend all of that money for those, because I just knew these are going to heal up fast and I'm going to want to change those out. So I just chose a little rhinestone. I had to pay for, they have a professional piercer, and I had to pay for that. So it was not cheap. I was pretty surprised at how expensive it was. And of course I tipped well and everything like that, because it was very crowded. I was so surprised. They actually, you know, there's like a maximum capacity that they could let in the store. So people were waiting outside the store. And I asked the girl, like, what is the deal? Why is it so crowded? And she said, one thing, it was on Saturday, and two, everyone was getting their stimulus checks and their tax returns. So that was probably why it was so crowded. I ended up going back. They had to take my temperature. I had to fill out all kinds of paperwork, give my ID. It's just amazing what you have to go through to do some things, and then some things you don't, you know. It's just, I guess because it was medically related. And of course, right when I went back there, he told her no more noses or tongues, because he did not want to work on anybody without their mask on. And it's so true. He said it's so unimportant, you know, why can't they wait? That was going on at the time, and I was just thinking about you guys the whole time. So I recorded it. Of course, I asked him. You'll hear me ask him. And all I did was just take my phone, put it on record, and set it up in the corner. So it is a miracle that as much showed as it did. You don't see the actual piercing, but you see me and you hear our voices and everything. So I am going to put that at the end of this video because it's interesting. Now, going back to why I chose this. I didn't know, I wanted something edgy, but I still wanted it to be pretty. I wanted it to go with my look, and I wanted it to be something I could put something really pretty in and all that kind of stuff. She suggested that, and what really made me stick to this is she said that's good because it doesn't, you know, it's in your ear and it doesn't catch on the mask. And so I was like, oh gosh, yeah. I was like, I do not, just the thought of it catching on the mask. I already hate wearing hoops, and when they catch on the mask, I was like, no, I don't need anything else doing that. And I don't know if I ever even asked her if it hurt. But there were two other girls that I ended up talking to. One of them's name was Taylor, and they told me that it was not a good idea to do 3 at one time, that your body's pain threshold, you know, just can't handle that much one after the other. But you guys know me. I'm really, when I set my mind to something, I'm really not scared. I can do what I want to do. And I thought to myself, if everybody else can do it, I can do it. So I pretty much talked myself out of being afraid of the pain or anything. You will hear what he says after he does this. And then maybe, let's see, let me go ahead and put the video in right here. I understand people's privacy, believe me. But I don't know if I'll post it or not, but you know.
That's what time you doing YouTube?
12 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm an OG.
Gangster. Have you just bring that above your nose for me, okay? I want to get the mask.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So you said what side?
This side.
Okay.
This is the one I take pictures of.
Can you get over this way? Clean your ear out.
I decided to go for it.
Why not?
I'm scared a little bit.
I get nervous every time I get pierced.
Yeah.
These are my favorite ones to do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing those forever before they got popular for the headaches stuff.
Oh, what are they popular for?
People say they cure their headaches, but they don't.
Yeah,
At all.
Just yeah.
Yeah, because when I tell them that, I'm like, this cures your anxiety and does weight loss. They're like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, but this one fixes your headache.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you, we don't mark the dot.
Okay. Okay, now does that leave room if I ever want to get another one?
Yep.
Okay.
You can go right above it.
Yeah, I've got pretty
Plenty.
fat lobes anyway.
I mean, once you're getting pierced now, so you're going to get another one. It gets real addicting.
Oh gosh.
All right, have you go ahead and lay on down for me.
Okay.
And turn it over that way. And back over this way. Alright, turn it back that way.
Okay. And were you still wanting to get
Alright. Ready? Take a deep breath in. In. It wasn't too bad, was it? Yeah, people non-stop want menstruals lately. I'm like, you know there's a pandemic, right?
I know.
How terrible of an idea that is.
Yeah, and you've got your mask on anyway.
Luckily, I've already got my vaccine shot.
Good.
Right, so out of here. And then the other way. I've had people cry though because I won't pierce their tongue and stuff.
Oh,
So it's so unimportant.
I know, I know.
Deep breath in. And grab this little gem.
So I'll keep these in a couple months.
You want to keep them in for 8 to 12 weeks.
Okay.
I like to go as long as possible.
Okay, that's cool. That's why I picked out a little sparkly one.
The main thing is don't twist it, don't turn it.
Really?
Yeah.
They used to tell you to do that, didn't they?
Yeah, what it is when they first started doing piercings, it was like needle and threads that would go into your skin.
Uh-huh.
But metal can't do that, so all you're doing is ripping the scabs right off over and over.
Okay, so you just let it scab.
Yep, and just leave it alone.
Okay.
And the scabs will fall off naturally.
Okay.
So you said this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, turn your head over that way. This one says a bit of pressure. All right, deep breath in and out. Pressure sucks, but we're about to get rid of it, okay?
Okay.
Good news is now that you've done that, you can do any ear piercing.
Did that hurt just as much as the trachea or whatever it is?
Tragus?
Uh-huh.
Tragus is quite a bit easier.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm glad I didn't know that. I just picked this one because it was inside and
Yeah.
I felt like it was a little, I don't know. Woo.
I don't know, it's a bunch of pressure. There we go. We gotta lock it and we'll get you cleaned up. And you survived, which is good, so I can go back to jail.
Woo.
Just kidding.
I don't care.
Oh, you get you cleaned up.
Okay.
This thing looks awesome. Super jealous.
I just wanted a little bit of edgy, not too much.
Oh, this is perfect. And you got gold?
Yeah.
That's all I wear. It looks so much better.
Yeah.
There you go. You can go and check it out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You like it?
Yes. I can't believe it.
Now the DOF one, it's going to feel like it gets stuck all the time.
Uh-huh.
It's not. It's just the scabs holding it. So no worries.
I'm just gonna plain old not touch them, right?
Yep. Rinse them off twice a day with that sterile saline.
And by doing that, you mean, how do I rinse?
You want to spray it.
Oh, with the spray?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about flushing the wound.
Okay. So I just had to, I don't know if you noticed in the beginning of this video, I did not have my thumbnail on. For some reason, these nails stay on forever. They actually, I mean, I have to remove them. But my thumb, I guess because I use it so much, just my right thumb always pops off. And so I had intended on gluing it back before I did this video. So anyway, it's back. As you probably heard in the video, he said once I did this, I could do any piercing because this one is the most painful. Can you believe that? That is just the way it happened. So I am very, very happy. I got it done, like I said, Saturday. Today's Monday. I have been rinsing it with this salt spray. Okay, you guys know that I pass out easy. I have, especially any kind of pain, I pass out. Or if I get too anxious, too hot, I've passed out in the blueberry field when my mom and my brother and I were picking blueberries. Definitely pain. Like after, one time I was getting an implant and he had to, this is probably right, this is right up there with childbirth, which is the most painful thing I've been through. The next painful would be, I had a tooth that had a crown on it and it had broken, and so he had to remove the like roots in the bottom of the tooth. Oh my God. I felt like I was just gonna go in orbit. And so when he finished that, I stood up and I passed out. I had to sit there for a little while. So usually anything that is painful, and I'm already anxious, I will pass out. Well, I did not even think about that. Probably a good thing, because a lot of it is in your head. I got done, and you know, he was so nice. I really just appreciate how nice he was. I had already paid, so I just kind of like got the heck out of there. I was just ready to go. I wanted to get John his Japanese hibachi food, and I was on the way there, and I saw the cookie factory place, and I thought, well, I'll stop and get, you know, that buy 5 get 1 free. And so I'm standing there in line, and all of a sudden it hits me, and I was like, oh my God. You know, and anybody that passes out knows you have that voice in your head that tells you it's coming, you're going to pass out. And so, and thank goodness it does, because a lot of times I've been able to find a chair. I heard it, and I like went over to the wall, like, you know, the cookie company's on that corner. I just went over to the wall, and I just stood against the wall for a few minutes. And I was like, Lisa, you're okay. You're okay. It doesn't even hurt that much anymore. First, it was so much pressure, and it really hurt. And the thing is, you know, when you do something to the outside of your ear, I don't know if you've ever had a bump in your ear or a cut in your ear or anything like that, it kind of radiates to the inside of your ear like an earache. Well, I had that coming on, and I wanted to get to the car and take some Tylenol to kind of head it off. I was like, okay. Then I still had to go. I got my cookies. Then I still had to go stand in the longest line for the Japanese food. And John loves that so much. There was no way I wasn't getting it. So I stood in this long line. I was texting Brooke and everything. She could not believe I got this done. I got in the car, took my Tylenol, and literally has not hurt since. Now, that first night I cleaned it. Didn't really like clean it with a Q-tip or anything, because you'll hear him tell me to leave it alone. You know, in the old days they told you to twist it and clean it, not to do that. So all I've been doing is kind of spraying it with that spray, the saline spray, and I took a shower that night, and they said that would be great, that my shampoo, the hot water, everything would be fine. That's what I did. I went to bed, and oh, this is something too. They asked me what side I slept on, and I said usually my right. I sleep on both, but it seems like when I wake up it's usually on my right side. So I was going to get this done in this side because they said that way I could sleep. But then when I thought about it, this side is my best side. Not that I really think both sides even look that much different, but when I take selfies or take any kind of picture, I'm right-handed, and I naturally hold the camera like this, and it's hard to take a picture like this. So I was like, if I'm gonna get it, I want it to show. So I switched it to this one, and I'm so glad I did, because I don't know, I'm just more partial to my right side. That night, you know, of course, I was afraid that it was gonna hurt so bad. I want you to know I slept solid the whole night. They were not that sore at all. The worst thing was the next morning, I was, you know, kind of doing like this, and my hair had something in it, which reminds me, I put some dry shampoo in my hair this morning. It was that little bitty can I got from Sephora, and it's the IGK First Class, and it is so white. I wanted to wear my hair up, the front of it, and it's just so white, I couldn't do it. So, little tidbit on that. If you don't want a white one, that one was really white for me. You can see it like in my hairline. I felt in my hair, and I felt something, and it was blood. And it did bleed overnight. Like, not enough, it didn't get on my pillow or anything, but it was kind of like around it. And you know, that grossed me out. So I cleaned it with this stuff really well. I mean, like forever. Then I just took a Q-tip and gently cleaned around it, and it has done so well. Matter of fact, that night I noticed that one of my earrings was like, I don't know if I don't want to touch it, but it was like, it looked like it was coming out. You know, when I first looked at it, I thought that the back had come off. So I had Brooke look at it, and she said, no. I said, well, you're not supposed to touch it, so I don't know if it's supposed to move that much. So I went back yesterday and just ran in there real quick and had them look at it, and he said no, that they have that extra room in case your ear swells, and he said mine looked great. It had not swollen. He looked at this, and he did tell me to come back in a month anyway, the first time I saw him, and they will check it, and then I think he said that they will trim this down and move the back. That is good. One thing I'm surprised at is I thought I was going to be able to change these out in like 6 weeks, but I think he says it in the video. I think it's longer than that, like 2 months or so, because I'm ready to get some of those little huggy earrings or something back there. We shall see. You all were there with me in spirit. I think when I asked you guys what you thought, I don't know if I had one person say that I shouldn't do it. I asked my mom that morning and I mentioned it to John, and you know, both of them said kind of like I think. I always try to think, what's the worst that can happen? And the worst that can happen is I take them out and I don't wear them and they heal up or whatever. So I didn't really feel like I had that big of a risk. That's my story, and I'm going to do a quick outfit of the day and let you go. I have on that bodysuit that I showed you guys on Friday, and I did put on a belt, but the more I look at it, I just don't like it, you guys. This is like a below the belt. I just would rather, yeah, especially with these shoes. And then I could not decide if I wanted to wear these or these. I just feel like these shoes are not going to go with but so much. So I feel like they go with this, and so I'm going to go with them. But if you have these, I think these look so good with this. And the jeans are the Levi's. If I had to tell you one pair of jeans that I have gotten in the past 6 months that I think are a good price and you would like, it would be these jeans. They're just the $5.50, I believe. I'll link them below. So you guys know about this stuff. And then these are Sheila Fajl hoops, which I think are like the perfect size. And then I think you will have seen this because I'm going to post another video I made yesterday before this one. But this is Jenny Bird, a ring that she just sent me, and I love it. I love the fact that it has like eyelashes that go with the stone. And then in the other video you'll see like a thick choker necklace with this design on it, and this is the thinner one with the pendant. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will probably post this on Wednesday, so I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.